Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Ted, hanging out with these guys.
I'm Dave.
Ryan.
And today we're going to talk about that thing that you guys have all questioned about. Why aren't we talking about it? And that's Ravenloft.
Consumed by the Mist. But before we get consumed by the mist, I'll tell you about the Nerdarchy newsletter. You can sign up in the discussion below, or the, what is that called below? Description below. You can get tips, learn how to game with Nerdarchy, etc., etc. Back on to talking about Ravenloft.
All right, so like we finally decided to do this. You know, we got the book that's coming out. They released them a free module.
Which is like a prequel.
Well, first of all, the book came out Friday, right? It's Saturday. Yeah, it's Saturday. The book was released Friday to like the Wizard of the Coast
official stores,
local stores. Yeah, and actually, like one of the things that I had brought up to Ryan the other day was the store that I would actually go to buy this book from isn't here anymore.
Yeah,
it just closed up like 2 weeks ago,
February 15th.
Yeah.
So
all of us have the book on pre-order, but it's not in our grubby little hands.
Well, and the other thing too, the truth of the matter is, I can buy it 2 weeks early for $50 plus tax.
Yeah.
Yeah, $49.99 plus tax, or I can just wait for Amazon to ship it to me 2 weeks later for like half the price.
Right.
Yeah. But you don't have it first.
I don't have it first. Yeah, like. I have to check. I don't even know how much I'm paying for it now, but I know I'm going to save no less than like $15.
That's at least 20.
Oh, is it 20 now?
Well, I mean, I thought mine was like 20 and then some other integer, when I pre-ordered mine.
Because I pre-ordered right away and it still said $49.99, and I'm like, there's no way Amazon charges that. Then it went down to like 38, then like 35, and then I stopped paying attention.
I might be wrong, but we'll find out when we
It'll be like Christmas. How much did we save?
So you've got the book, you've got the module, you've got the 2-page character options. And there's a whole thing about the release on the DM's Guild.
Yeah, it came out Friday. That blew me away.
You can now use Ravenloft in the DM's Guild, which is totally awesome, and it's setting the precedent that as they put more worlds out, that information is going to be added to the guild, and that's super. That's awesome. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
So
not necessarily that we'll be putting stuff in there, but
it's cool that the option is on the table.
Absolutely.
Maybe we'll do like some gothic horror stuff that would maybe fit very nicely into the Ravenloft universe, perhaps on our own website.
So, like my speculation was after they launched the DMs, like I was blown away by the OGL. Being released. I didn't think they were going to do it after what happened with 4th and Pathfinder. They did it. Then they...
You mean 3rd and Pathfinder, and
yeah. Well, yeah.
Because then 4th was a departure from the
No, 4th is why they did Pathfinder. That's where the split happened.
Right. Yeah.
Because everyone else would still be playing 3rd edition otherwise. But no, so the OGL happened. Didn't think we'd see that again, and they stumped me again by opening up their actual IP of Forgotten Realms, their baby, to all of us to play in and sell stuff there. Very cool. So I was like, all right. So the model they're going to go with is they're going to release like 3 products, and then they're going to open up the IP to us to play with after they've kind of like made their big score.
Yeah.
On the physical books and stuff, and I was wrong again. And they're like, no, the book, the book is barely off the presses, and you can just write your own stuff for Ravenloft now.
Yeah, I mean, what I can imagine them doing is talent farming. That they'll like basically do like a best of greatest hits of the stuff that ends up in the DM's Guild, and then repackage that as official Watts content.
They've already said they'll do that.
Yeah. I mean, but so that seems like maybe might be the thing that happens sooner than later.
Yeah, and since they're already farming out to third-party companies, they're like, well, let's just expand the talent search. Maybe we'll find our next Keith Baker. Or, from Eberron. So now the speculation is, what are they going to do next? Is it going to be Eberron? Yeah. So that's really interesting. With Ravenloft news and the release of Ravenloft. But then we also have they did a prequel module not that long ago, which is
Death House.
Yep,
Death House,
which is like, it's pretty beefy. I mean, this is like a couple of sessions worth of material.
Well, it says that it's material to run characters from 1st to 3rd level. Yeah. So that's pretty nice.
Getting ready for the Strahd. which is really cool. And then they also did a really cool new background.
And it is fantastic. It's called the Haunted One. It's basically like something has happened to your character that you're being haunted by something. You have terrible nightmares. There's something about your character that you've been affected by something that can't be stopped by sword or spell. You can't just be like, I will fight it until it's gone. It's not going to go away.
Yeah, there's no mechanical solution to this thing.
Right,
yeah.
which is awesome that it spells it right there. Dave and I were looking at it, and Dave's like, well, it does give you a little, one less proficiency option. If you look at all of the things in the player's handbook, you usually get 2 skills and a combination of 2 others with tool proficiencies, languages, whatever else. This just gives you 2 skills and then a uncommon language.
Well, I also found the
or exotic language.
I also found the actual background feature a little odd as well.
Yeah.
But basically, commoners treat you well because they're scared of you, essentially. But they'll also stick up for you and stand beside you if you find yourself in trouble. And that's the part that I found odd, is because it actually takes into
account. It's kind of contradictory to itself in a way.
Contradictory to itself and to how all the other previous.
Because usually no one will put themselves in harm's way. Like, there's never any tangible mechanical benefit usually.
And this one almost produces allies.
I wonder if maybe that's why they got one less skill or feature, or skill or language.
You don't get proficiencies, but you get an army of commoners.
Shield wall, human shield wall.
But they do give you the new item of the Monster Hunters pack, as well as an entire Gothic trinkets list. So I mean that's something that's pretty interesting in and of itself. Why you would want to be carrying around the switch that you were punished with as a child, I don't know, but that's one of the options.
Yeah. There you go. I mean,
maybe the voices make you do it.
Yeah. So, the cool thing about Haunted One is it kind of can give you a little bit of that flair of the Warlock without actually being the Warlock. Mm-hmm. So it's like it kind of it gives you the flavor of a class and not actually taking any levels.
Well, I mean that's the cool thing about most of the backgrounds is they to some extent they do that entertainer, soldier, criminal.
Yeah, you could be the not so roguey rogue,
So that's definitely the benefit. Yeah, it's only a couple pages, but it's a couple pages that are interesting, nice, and free. It's great, all the free content we're getting with this edition and the support.
Absolutely.
And there's lots of really fun trinkets on the trinket table that you can use, as random treasure your party finds, or maybe there's some story elements that are tied into them. So that's cool.
And then we have the prequel adventure.
Right.
So I did not actually read through the whole thing. I've been friggin' dying. Dave is not actually here. It's Dave Zombie that's here today.
Yeah.
I've been dying from some draconian flu.
I've just been going on limited sleep, disrupted sleep. So I myself skimmed through it. There's definitely some interesting encounters that are in there. There's some cool locations to play with, but I did not have a chance to sit and read it. So Ryan, on to you.
Yeah, so the only person that did the homework here, fuckers. So it's a pretty good adventure. I like that they do sort of a non-standard leveling mechanic where they're just like, look, there's kind of milestones in the story of this thing. Let's just have people level then. So that's a pretty early thing. The NPC I don't know if I should be spoiling this or not. There's these NPC ghost children that are pretty cool. It's funny. So you go for so you find a note from Lord Strahd, and it's it's a clue hammer. It hits you so hard, and I'm just they could have probably did that a little more subtle, a little more interesting.
They also have print. I don't know if it's for the prequel or for the Strahd adventure, but on the Wild site there's printout. There's handouts that you can print, and there's also a huge art collection and stuff that you can also purchase. And there's tons of support on Fantasy Grounds for this module, for not this module, but for the Ravenloft module.
Nice.
Cool, very neat. So this is there's some fun and interesting stuff here happening for sure. a lot of this adventure is contingent off of like finding secret doors. Like there's a lot of stuff that's important that's behind secret doors that like might be like clues or trinkets or whatever.
So make sure you got a good perception check.
Well, I mean, so the problem is if you're a first level party and you didn't bring your rogue, you might have problems finding some of this stuff. So I thought that was a little. There's a thing a little later on that kind of mitigates some of that. But I'm just saying that could be a problem with some parties actually being frustrated at finding.
I
something.
feel like any adventure that hinges on a skill check is a flawed adventure, in my opinion.
Well, you can send that to Chris Perkins, who wrote this. I believe it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
What's that fucker know about D&D anyway?
Right. He only runs celebrity games for like Scott Kurtz and Will Wheaton and stuff. So yeah, like I did find that like. Maybe that could be the problem. There are some things that like rein that in, and like there's a point at which there's a thing you find that will give you advantage on those search checks. So like you can go back and find those things.
Is it a magnifying glass?
It's actually a dollhouse replica of the house that with secret doors that you can kind of examine and look at.
Well, that's really cool. No spoilers there.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess we should have spoiled alerted the whole thing. What else? So it actually seems pretty lethal for the level of the party.
Yeah.
Like, in the early goings, there isn't too much that's dangerous about it. But then, like, you actually start getting into the dangerous parts, and I feel like this could drop a player or two. Like,
my kind of
completely.
Well, I mean, that's what Ravenloft is designed for. I mean,
It's usually supposed to take out not your physical body, but your soul. That. It should be your sanity that's in danger, not your physical self as much. Because the dark powers don't get to screw with you if they just outright kill you. Now, Dark Sun wants to kill you. This wants to drive you insane.
That's not true. They can always bring you back and torment you.
That's true.
It's been known to happen.
Yeah.
A bunch of times.
Yeah, so I mean, all in all, like I might do. If I were running this, I might do some writing tweaks and maybe scale back the lethality just a hair, depending on the makeup of the party.
Pardon me, guys. Cold.
Yeah. Well, fuck you. So I hope the Draconian plague takes you
It probably will, but I'll rise as a revenant
with scales.
with scales.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much the short and long. Is like it's good. It's got its warts though.
So, yeah, I had read like the intro into it, and it's the classic. Hey, you should have the Mists of Ravenloft take the party, and of course you should. It's Ravenloft.
Herd them into something. Yeah.
It's cool that they've kind of folded Ravenloft into the Shadowfell, which I like that idea. It fits nicely. Oh no, I'm excited to see see the hardback Ravenloft book. It's a shorter adventure than the other ones, so I'm hoping that means that we get a lot more like Crunch and Ravenloft in there, which would be really cool. And like I said, there's a ton of support for Ravenloft online already. Wizards of the Coast is really just doing a good job with this stuff with 5th edition, and I want to just say they seem to keep gaining momentum and not losing it and getting better, and they seem to be really trying to listen to the fan base and produce quality products that are going to help push the hobby forward.
Right, and they're meeting the demand of the fan base. That's important. So I mean, I think that's pretty much it for Ravenloft. If we want to,
and obviously,
lay it on the
guys,
sarcophagus,
obviously, when we actually get the hardback books, we're going to do a flip through. We're going to talk about that stuff and in a lot more detail. We're really excited about that. And hey, we might actually on our Patreon make a goal where we set the goal where whenever Watts puts something out, we'll buy it first from the stores for the full price. And then we'll be able to review it as soon as possible.
Quicker,
if we can't get them to actually send us the books in advance so we can review it for you guys and show you. Yeah. But it's an idea. But otherwise, for us all to pay full price all the time, it's a bit much.
It's not in our current budgets.
Yeah, no, that'd be a little crazy. All right, so just like, comment, subscribe, share.
You can head over to Facebook and check out funny memes.
You can tweet at us when we're on Twitter.
So until next time,
stay nerdy.
It's Saturday. Yeah, it's Saturday. The book was released Friday too. Like the Wizard of the Coast
Official stores.
Official local stores, yeah. And actually, like, one of the things that I had brought up to Ryan the other day was the store that I would actually go to buy this book from isn't here anymore.
Yeah,
it just
went out of
closed up
business,
like 2 weeks ago.
February.
Tell you about the Nerdarchy newsletter. You can sign up in the discussion below, or the what is that called below? Description below. You can get tips, learn how the game with Nerdarchy, etc., etc. Back on to talking about Ravenloft.
All right, so like we finally decided to do this. You know, we got the book that's coming out. They released them a free module,
Which is like a prequel.
Well, first of all, the book came out Friday, right?
Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Ted, hanging out with these guys.
I'm Dave.
Ryan.
And today we're going to talk about that thing that you guys have all questioned about. Why aren't we talking about it? And that's Ravenloft.
Consumed by the Mist. But before we get consumed by the Mist, I'll get to
15th.
Yeah.
So
all of us have the book on pre-order, but it's not in our grubby little hands.
Well, and the other thing too, the truth of the matter is I can buy it 2 weeks early for $50 plus tax.
Yeah.
Yeah, $49.99 plus tax. Or I can just wait for Amazon to ship it to me 2 weeks later for like half the price.
Right.
Yeah. But you don't have it first.
I don't have it first. Yeah. Like I have to check. I don't even know how much I'm paying for it now, but I know I'm going to save no less than like $15.
That's at least 20.
Oh, is it 20 now?
Well, I mean, I thought mine was like 20 and then some other integer, when I pre-ordered mine.
Because I pre-ordered right away and it still said $49.99, and I'm like,
wow.
there's no way Amazon charges